Hello, everyone. This is a bit of an odd update, but I need to make this before. Well, actually, it's too late to really. I'm going to post this today anyway. But for those wondering, yes, this is my August schedule, as you guys might have read the title. And August is probably going to be my busiest month by far, just purely on the fact that Journey of the Heartswarming returns with what is easily its biggest opening chapter, period. I mean, I've had plenty of ending chapters that were long, but not really too many opening chapters that were long. You're all thinking, oh, why don't I break this one in half like I did with season 3? Because if I did, I would cut the pacing for later chapters, okay? This is going to be a very condensed season, okay? It's not going to be horribly paced. No, it's perfectly paced. It's just, I've got a lot to cover in order to make sure I have room for the final arc. Okay? We're. The Earth Pony arc is only going to be 2 seasons. That was always the plan, okay? That way I end the United arc on 4 seasons. Because I have a lot more planned with that one. But anyway, yep. For that reason, I have got a lot to do this month, okay? Particular, I have 2 chapters planned for Journey of Heartswarming. That will most likely come out during the 13th and the 27th. And what are they called again? Let me look up what they're called again. The chapter names are Blaze. I never even wrote the title for the prologue. Shit, I have the thing finished. I just haven't wrote the prologue title, dang it. But yeah, I might think of something cool. Let's see what is happening during that prologue. Like Lost Child, maybe, or bearing down the sword. This prologue is definitely a prologue you guys do not want to skip at all. If you guys were confused at all during the end of last season, you need to read this prologue because a good chunk of it takes place during the season finale. Yeah, the middle section, that take place in the present. And that is showing a lot of what happened, okay? But also, the first half of the second chapter coming out this month, the actual proper beginning of the season, will also be taking place mostly during and the season 7 finale. And that one will be called oh yeah, Royal Honesties, or something like that. I haven't fully established title, but it's something like that, okay? Again, I've got these chapters finished, I just haven't ironed out the titles yet. I do need to do some minor cleanup on editing them, but otherwise they're finished. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've got planned. And for Something Wrong with Canterlot, it's going to be more crazy because I've got the prologue, but I've also got 3 chapters I've got planned for this month. Okay? Those chapters being. Oh boys, I thought I had. Why do I not have everything named today? But these chapters are finished, I just haven't named them yet. What's happening in this one? Anyway, I'll figure it out later. Anyway, these ones are finished. I just haven't named them yet. Either way, for Something Wrong with Canterlot, that will be Fridays, starting from the 8th, going all the way through to the 29th. All the way through, all month. Every single Friday. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that mean for Dragon May Cry? Are we going to stop Dragon May Cry? No, we're not going to stop Dragon May Cry. Yes, a season, end of an act is coming up, and I did tell you guys last month that an end of an act would involve an extra chapter being posted on Friday. That's still going to happen, But my plan is I'm going to have that chapter be posted in the morning. Roughly, I want to say, like, just before noon. And then have the later chapter, the Something Wrong with Canterlot chapter, during the evening. Okay? Or I might just switch them around. Who knows? We'll find out next week on the 8th. No, wait, no. It's not the 8th, Blazes. I'm trying to remember. What? Yeah. It's actually the 15th when the next chapter comes out. For those also, I'm curious about something else involving Spike. You guys might have noticed, we did finish the third season for Red. What was it again? Blazes, I am just mush today. Where's everybody? We finished off the season. I'm so glad we finished off season 3. We can finally dip into the utter chaos that is in season 4, season 5. This is where the action really climbs up in intensity, okay? For those who are wondering, oh, the story's going too slow. I want some gore and blood. This is where you're going to get it. Well, you're going to get a lot of intense action, okay? You've already gotten plenty of gore and blood, but still. Spike now knows of the creature. Now he must fight the creature. Okay, that's pretty much what season 4 is all about, okay? And I'm so glad we're finally there. We are not getting a chapter for this month at all, though, because remember I told you guys we do a full season, and then we skip the month afterward. It's to give me a breather when I need certain things done. Where is Everpony will return in September, when things are less complicated. Another thing you guys need to know about today is, where is Daring Against Glacier? Well, due to the chaos of this month, I've decided to not cancel it. No, it's not canceled. Calm the hell down, people. It will not be going up this weekend. This is just to give me breathing room to clean up extra chapters and make sure everything is nice and tight for this month. Arguably, this could be one of my most important months ever, mostly due to the fact I'm still doing all these stories. I've got like 4 stories going on at once, okay? I'm thirsty. Anyway. It's a lot of craziness going on, and I'm so glad to finally be here in Season 8 of Journey of the Heartswarming, because it's not just, the end of the Earth Pony storyline, but it's also a moment I have been building up to since Season 1. You guys might remember at the end of Season 7, the very first scene at the end of Season 7, spoilers for those who didn't read, Silverpear met someone from his past, or someone connected to his past. I can't spoil who this is, but I've been laying the groundwork for this character since Season 1. I've been giving hints and pieces through Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, and especially Season 5. Massive hints for during Season 5, damn it. If you guys hadn't figured it out, I'm glad that I worked it too well, and I'm sorry if it's not thick enough on the details. It will make sense once we get to the end of the season. Particularly when it comes to the prologue. If you guys pay attention very well to this prologue, again, you don't want to skip Season 8's prologue at all. I've noticed that there is these dips when it comes to, like, the prologues and epilogues. I mean, I can understand you guys ignoring the epilogues. Hold on, let me get over to it. Let's see. I didn't even think I posted an epilogue for this season, did I? 42. What else? Loud, you shit and stain. Intermission. Okay, I haven't posted an intermission at all, have I? No, I totally did not. Shit, I totally forgot an intermission chapter. Oh well, a lot is happening. I don't think we need an intermission chapter for season 7 because the pacing was so different. And really, it doesn't need to with the cliffhanger ending I gave you guys. But anyway, I will be having an intermission for the end of season 8 though, because there's a lot I need to cover. But anyway, I've always noticed that intermissions get ignored for the most part. People do read them, but they're not like the highest rated chapters. Like for instance, intermission 1. That thing is like so low in ratings, it is almost invisible under the actual prologue chapter. So for the most part, you guys tend to ignore intermissions. You don't ignore prologues as much as I thought, okay? I'm glad, but please do not ignore this prologue. There's a lot that happens, okay? Not just for Silverpair, not just for Rex, not just for... Oh, blazes, I'm saying a lot. But yeah. There are plot points I have been holding in my back pocket for years that I'm finally posting on this prologue in this season. As for our plans for season 3 of Something Wrong with Canterlot, there's a lot of fun happening here, particularly when it comes to the month 2 sections and month 17. If you guys might have remembered, at the end of the month 7, at the end of season... Wait, I'm on season 4, ain't I? Oh, blazes. Did I really rewrite these chapters wrong? Hold on. No, I see what I did wrong. I wrote S3 on the final chapter of season 2. Oh, blazes. How long has that been there, guys? Anyway, but yeah. If you guys remember, the end of last season revealed that Crystal Empire is under attack. Yeah, the Crystal Empire is under attack, which is a surprising reveal since we heard almost nothing about the Crystal Empire throughout the entirety of the flashback storylines. It's like, what are they doing? Canterlot has been utterly shredded to pieces and distorted into this abomination in the cover, and there's almost no word of what happened to Canterlot. Well, plot twist. There's almost no news of what happened to Crystal Empire. Plot twist. Something has happened to the Crystal Empire. Of course it's getting attacked. Duh. And that's the big point for this season, but also for the readers who've been, and for the ones who've been keeping up with the side stories. Sweetie Belle's side story had a massive reveal during June. Massive reveal that I've been building up to and hinting in the previous seasons. Now that you guys know about that reveal, I'm going full horse about it, okay? When it comes to season 3. Especially when it get to the Sweetie Belle sections. I'm going full horse. I'm not revealing everything that happened with the time jump, but I am intertwining all kinds of stuff. I noticed one of my happiest moments from this month is how much you people loved the most recent chapter for, what was it? Loud You Shit Stain. Daring Against the Glacier. Just go to my front page, you asshole. Yeah, Daring Against the Glacier, Tower Revealed. That chapter is the highest rated chapter of that whole season, of that whole story. And I am so glad. because that damn page is still not loading. Anyway, I already know what it says, but anyway, I am so glad the ratings for that one is so friggin' high, because there is so much in that chapter that intertwines not just the time loop, not just a certain static covered figure. Yes, that was her. If you guys didn't catch it, yes, that was blatantly her. There is so much I wanted to do with Daring Against the Glacier. Yes, a certain comment did say, why is it written with those certain scenes? Not the good scenes, but the other scenes. It's because I'm iffy in general on how to handle this story. Yes, you guys made clear in the previous chapter before Tower Unveiled that you don't care about those icky chapters. You want to read the story I built around the timelines. And while I do have another icky chapter planned, I'm not going to remove it until I know for sure. I'm not going to stop until I know for sure that you guys, your taste are where you want to be. Yes, it is a crutch for me to rely on those icky scenes. But remember, those icky scenes were the first stories that got me featured. So, yes, they are a crutch, but they are a crutch I can't let go of because they are the ones that ensure I get featured sometimes. Yes, Glacier Freeze didn't get featured because I had a glaring grammar error for 2 whole freaking weeks that I never noticed because I'm colorblind. Not colorblind. Face blind, word blind, whatever you want to call it. Anyway. But simply put, we will not be having any chapters from Daring Against Glacier this week at all. If you guys want to know what happened in Daring Against the Glacier without reading all that stupid shit, read Tower Unveiled. It is not every single secret revealed, but it is a pinnacle piece of my universe, okay? While it isn't clear to Daring Do and the Griffin what is going on here, keen eyes will realize that yes, this is connected to the time loop. Everything that has happened in these buildings in the glacier are connected to the time loop. What is the source of the time loop? Yes, it seems to be King Cray, but at the same time, there is another factor we're still missing, and that is why Daring Against the Glacier is so important. The way I see it, Daring Against the Glacier is important for the fact that it establishes how everything is happening. But it is the groundwork for another chapter, the Scootaloo chapter, and the Scootaloo side story that will be happening next year, if I remember correctly. Yeah, next year. I might be wrong. Depending on when the one reveal happens with Bone. Yeah, with Bone Collector. You guys know who I'm talking about. The reveal in Bone Collector happens. That's when I'll have the Scootaloo story. And no, she's not Scootaloo, but you guys might have already figured out what's going on with her. You haven't figured out exactly who Bone Collector is. I'm keeping that very close to the chest when it comes to the mysteries of certain... When it comes to the mysteries of the Anti-Sex, some of them are very blatantly obvious. I mean, Iron Sentry is just flat Sentry. Some of them are a bit more subtle, like who is the mysterious... Bloody hell. Fucking hell, I cannot remember names today. The leader, the one with the with the metal mask, the anti-magic mask, whatever. The leader is a bit more subtle, but Bone Collector I've been keeping very close to the chest because Bone Collector is built into one of my oldest headcanons that I've had in the entire fucking series of My Little Pony, period. This headcanon has existed since the character's introduction. Yes, it is a canon character, okay? It is a character that actually exists in the show. I've deconstructed and twisted her around, but it is still the same character baseline at the bottom, and that is built into her reveal and why she's being haunted by a certain orange ghost. And that is built into the storyline of Scootaloo's side story, which will be coming out next year. And that will be important because it shows the side effects, the horrible transgressions of this time loop. We've seen the subtleness of it when Rarity aged up, when Spike aged up, when Sweetie Belle aged up and totally forgot her baby existed. That is subtle changes to the timeline, but major changes to the timeline will be revealed in the Scootaloo one. Okay? I'm like, the Daring Do one lays the groundwork for the time loop. So let's see, sorry. The Sweetie Belle one was the reveal of the time loop. The Daring Do one's the groundwork of the time loop. And the Scootaloo one is the payoff of the time loop. Okay? There is so much I want to do with this time loop stuff. And that's one of the reasons why Something Wrong with Canterlot is built in such a way when it comes to the chapter layout. Why certain chapters are laid out in certain ways. Because I'm not trying to confuse you guys, but rather I'm giving certain chapters importance depending on certain character beats. This will be important later when we get to Bone Collector's reveal, which I can't just state in earlier chapters. I need it to happen just before the Scootaloo side story comes out. That way the truth has that right amount of hit. I have been going non-stop 22 minutes shit. I need to stop. I need to kick a breather, kick myself on the face, and wake up because this month is insane. For those who are completely lost, the review is here. We're still doing Dragon May Cry. Tuesdays through Thursdays. When we're done with the most recent act, there will be a 2-week break. Because I might have something planned, I'm not sure, but I want to basically move the acts around so they flow better. They're still happening in the 3-episode format a week. I love that idea. And same thing with Glacier and Daring against Glacier. It is on a break right now for only a week, and it will return next Saturday. We are getting 2 chapters of Journey of the Heartswarming on the 13th and the 27th, and 4 chapters on Something Wrong with Canterlot from the 8th to the 29th every single Friday. Now, I need to stop myself before I go any further. But I do want to give you guys a small preview of things to come during Dragon May Cry, because it's fresh in my head. Oh, there's Daring Against Glacier. Why is it over there? Okay. What are we dealing with when it comes to the... We're currently in Act 5 of Dragon May Cry. And Act 5, Act 6, these are big when it comes to Smolder. Big when it comes to Smolder. You're all thinking, oh, Gabby's been introduced, so Gabby takes center stage. No. It's Gabby being there that cuts through the iron plates of Smolder, okay? That has us finally realize what's going on with Smolder. You guys might have remembered in the most recent chapter of a certain thing happening. A certain character appeared who's been in the background in flashbacks. This was another flashback chapter, yes. But we've now got a full-on confirmation of what happened, but not how. Actually, no, that chapter is actually coming out Monday. Sorry, next Tuesday. Sorry, I'm half out of it, folks. I might have just accidentally gave you a hint, major hint. But in the title alone, it's pretty obvious. I'm Welcome Red. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that'll be returning next, that'll be new chapters next week. It looks like we will be finishing off the season next week. Yeah, we'll be finishing off Act 5 next week, which will lead to, damn, that chapter, oof. That chapter. Oh, that extra chapter. Yes, these extra chapters are mostly icky, weird, and stupid. But at the same time, what I love about Dragon May Cry is the first sections of these icky chapters are massive world building. But not really massive, okay? Yeah, they're character building, not world building. Character building. For instance, this one's going to be massive character building for the main ship. That being... Let me get close enough for you guys to hear me. Listen closely. The main ship for the end of this act will be Gabby and Small.